Bangladesh essentially being kicked out of the T20 World Cup 2026 by the ICC for refusing to travel to India is unprecedented, because it's the first time that the ICC have ruled a nation out, in essence, for them not choosing to come to the venue. However, it has been happened a lot in the past that teams have withdrawn from certain games, either partially or entirely from tournaments. And it is something of a norm when it comes to ICC events. In this video, we'll take a look at notable times when teams ended up pulling out of ICC tournaments, whether partially or otherwise. And we're starting off with 1996, when both Australia and West Indies refused to travel to Sri Lanka. Now, at that point in time, Sri Lanka, who were co-hosts, were very much part of a civil war sort of situation. The Tamil Elam movement was very much at its peak, and the LTTE would regularly use bomb blasts to actually spread terror among the people. Now, a bomb blast in Colombo was what basically made Australia and West Indies say, no, we aren't traveling. They forfeited their matches and lost points from those particular games. A similar thing happened to two other teams in 2003. Started off with England when they refused to go to Zimbabwe. Now, Zimbabwe, who were also co-hosts at that point in time, were ruled by Robert Mugabe, and England said, we don't want to sports wash a dictatorial regime. ICC said, fine, if you don't want to go, you'll forfeit your points. England did just that, and very ironically ended up getting knocked out in the first round itself. Something similar also was done by New Zealand when they refused to go to Kenya, once again due to security concerns, because there had been a bomb blast just a few months prior to the World Cup taking place. Again, the ICC said, we've done our checks. If you don't want to travel, you forfeit the match. And that's exactly what happened with them. Now, by and large, forfeits didn't happen until a few years later, when in 2009, Zimbabwe refused to go to England. Now, this was basically payback from 2003. At this point in time, diplomatic ties between Zimbabwe and England were an all-time low. And Zimbabwe said, we don't even know if we'll get visas. And Mugabe, who was still very much in charge, said, no, I'm not sending my team. So they didn't end up going for the T20 World Cup, which England hosted. Something similar happened this time, although in junior cricket level in 2016, when Australia refused to travel to Bangladesh. And this was again due to security concerns, because the Australian government said that we've done our own checks, and at this point in time, our own players will be under a security threat, because at that point in time, there was some tensions between Australia and Bangladesh. Australia pulled out of the tournament and were replaced by another team. And of course, something similar was bound to happen in 2025 when India refused to go to Pakistan for the ICC Champions Trophy. Of course, India didn't refuse. They simply said, make us play our matches in a neutral venue. And that's exactly what happened. They played their games in the UAE, won the tournament, didn't have to travel to Pakistan. And this really is where things started to change, because even Pakistan now have full right to not travel to India for their ICC tournament games. So that's it. These are the major times when you saw withdrawals or partial boycotts take place in ICC tournaments. You can let us know in your comments below what you felt about all of these withdrawals. And don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.